All right, so you're here with us on the deep dive because, well, you want to get smart fast, right?
Yeah,
On the stuff that really matters.
absolutely.
And today, that's your financial future.
It's a big one.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're going to take a deep dive into The Path, Accelerating Your Journey to Financial Freedom
Oh, a good one.
by Tony Robbins and Peter Mallouk.
Big names.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so think of this as like your express lane, okay,
Yeah.
to the book's absolute most potent, hitting you over the head insights.
Love that analogy.
All right, so
Buckle up.
yeah, this isn't just your, average run-of-the-mill personal finance guy.
No.
Okay, this is like a fusion
Yeah, it's a synthesis for sure.
of some serious strategic brilliance.
Right.
Okay, we've got Peter Mallouk.
Consistently ranked as one of the top financial advisors in the country.
Yeah, by Barron's, I
Like
mean.
Barron's, yeah.
He was the #1 spot for 3 years straight.
From 2013 to 2015.
2013 to 2015. That's not an accident, right?
No, that is a track record.
And then you combine that with Tony Robbins.
Right.
Okay, who is like the master
Of human behavior
Yeah.
and peak performance.
So it's like this potent combo
Really is.
aimed at making financial freedom accessible,
For everyone.
not just the, the select few.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Democratizing it.
yeah.
Our mission here
Yeah, what are we doing here?
is to distill their combined wisdom, okay,
Right.
into knowledge you can actually use,
Yes.
actionable knowledge.
Love that actionable.
Right. So we're going to pull out like the core tools, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The strategies, the mindset shifts that they champion.
Is book champions, yeah.
So you can move toward financial independence more effectively.
More effectively, that's the key.
So we're talking understanding the whole game, right?
The rules of the game.
Building your toolkit,
Yeah.
developing the right mental approach.
Having that right mindset is so much of it.
Yeah, it's huge.
It really is.
Okay, so because
And the book really emphasizes this. It's not just theory,
right,
okay? It's grounded in real-world examples.
real world tangible advice.
Yeah. Stuff you can actually start applying today.
Absolutely.
Whether you're,
No matter where you're at.
starting from scratch
Doesn't matter.
or you've got, a bit of a nest egg already.
Doesn't matter.
All right, so let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
The book kicks off with a surprisingly, upbeat perspective.
I was surprised too.
Yeah, they argue that, right now is actually a historically advantageous time
To be an investor.
to be an investor.
I know it
It's-
sounds crazy, right?
It does.
With everything going on.
Right.
But they make a really good case.
So what's the core of their argument?
So basically they say that all the advancements in technology
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that the world is so interconnected now,
Yeah.
it's creating this environment that's just ripe with opportunities for wealth creation.
Okay.
It's like this perfect storm, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And they really believe, and I think their argument is strong, that these forces are going to keep driving growth.
Mhm.
So investing now could be more impactful than ever.
So it's not just blind optimism.
No. It's like they have data to back it up.
Data-driven optimism.
Yeah. Beta-driven outlook.
Yeah, I like that way to frame it.
Right.
It totally changes the narrative.
From scarcity to opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Right. And building on that, they really push this idea that becoming an investor,
Right.
it's not some exclusive club.
Not at all.
Right.
Like it used to be.
For the wealthy.
Exactly.
How do they break down that barrier?
Well, they say that the path to becoming an investor is paved with consistent saving
Okay.
and strategic allocation.
So it's not necessarily about a massive income.
Not at all. It's about making those small, regular investments
Okay.
and letting them compound over time.
Mm-hmm.
And that can lead to
Big gains.
significant wealth accumulation. Yeah.
So it's about participation
It's about being in the game.
and discipline.
Yes, discipline is key.
And that's great news for you listening, right?
Yeah, so you
Because it means that,
don't have to be a millionaire to start.
yeah, gaining financial literacy and actually taking action,
Right.
even if you're starting small,
You're in the game.
puts you in the game
You're in the game.
with potentially huge long-term rewards.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got this optimistic outlook, right? We've got this idea that anyone can be an investor.
Anyone can play.
But then they kind of pivot
Right.
to this crucial internal factor,
Which is,
our own financial psychology.
yeah, your mindset.
Okay, so why is understanding our mindset
It's so important.
so central to their approach?
Because here's the thing, even in the best economic conditions, our own psychology can sabotage us.
Yeah.
Our fears, our biases,
Yeah.
they can lead us to make really bad financial decisions.
Right.
Think about it. Fear of loss
Oh, yeah.
makes you miss out on potential gains.
Or sell low.
Or sell low when the market dips.
Yeah.
So they're saying that recognizing and controlling these emotional responses, that's the foundation
Okay.
of building what they call a financial fortress.
I like that.
It's about aligning your internal wiring with the external realities of the financial world.
So it's not just about knowing, like, you know, the numbers and the, you know,
It's the technical stuff.
the data.
Right.
It's also about understanding what makes us tick
It's about knowing yourself.
when it comes to money.
Yes, absolutely.
What are some of the biggest psychological pitfalls
Oh, there are so many.
they highlight in the book?
Okay, so one of the big ones is loss aversion,
Okay.
which is basically this tendency to feel the pain of a loss more acutely than the pleasure of an equivalent gain.
Yeah.
So like losing $100 feels way worse
Oh, yeah.
than gaining $100 feels good.
It's so true.
It's just how our brains are wired.
And then there's, like, you know, the herd mentality.
Your mentality, classic,
Right.
following the crowd,
Even when it's, like,
even when it makes no sense.
the wrong direction.
Right.
And the book gives you strategies to become aware of these tendencies.
Absolutely.
So you can develop a more, like,
Rational,
rational,
disciplined approach
Yeah.
to financial decision making.
So it's about shifting from, like, that emotional reactivity to thoughtful action.
Exactly.
I love that. It's a game changer. It's a real aha moment, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have the optimistic outlook.
Yeah.
We've got the mindset piece.
The psychologist.
But then the book really gets into, like, the nitty gritty.
And nuts and bolts.
Okay, it promises a step-by-step path to financial freedom.
Right.
And a lot of this comes from Peter Melick's expertise.
Yes.
What does that practical framework actually look like?
So Maluk lays out this structured process,
Okay.
but the beauty of it is it can be adapted to individual circumstances.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
No.
Okay.
Because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's starting from a different place.
Exactly, and they have different goals.
Right.
So the first step
Yeah.
is to chart a personalized financial course.
Okay.
You got to define your goals, understand your current situation,
Yeah.
and figure out your risk tolerance.
Because what works for one person might totally wrong for someone else.
Exactly.
Okay, so beyond that personalized roadmap,
Okay.
what are some of the other like key areas
Okay.
that this path covers?
So a big chunk of it
Yeah.
is about understanding how the market works and, like, navigating volatility.
Because let's face it, the market's going to go up.
It's going to go up.
It's going to go down.
It's going to go down. It's going to do all sorts of crazy things.
But they emphasize that like those fluctuations are normal.
It's part of the game.
Right.
And they give you a framework
Yeah.
for staying calm
Right.
and making rational decisions.
Even when everything's going haywire.
Even when it feels like the sky is falling. Okay, and they also shed light on some parts of the financial services industry that might not always be super transparent.
Right. They pull back the curtain a little bit.
So it's about becoming an informed participant,
Yes.
not just blindly trusting, you know,
whoever.
whoever.
Right.
And the book also gives advice on choosing a financial advisor. What are some of their key recommendations there?
So they say the most important thing
Yeah.
is to find a fiduciary advisor.
Okay, and for those of us who don't know,
A fiduciary advisor is legally obligated to act in your best interest.
okay, so they have to put your needs first,
Exactly.
not their own commissions or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the book gives you like a checklist
Yeah.
of things to look for when you're evaluating advisors, like transparency, clear communication,
Yeah.
a genuine commitment to your well-being.
So it's about finding a partner
Yeah, a true partner
you can trust.
that you can trust.
Okay, now when it comes to the actual investments,
The nitty-gritty.
right, how does the path guide readers through that landscape?
So they give you a really clear overview
Okay.
of like all the different types of investments, from stocks and bonds
Yeah.
to real estate
Okay.
and other asset classes.
Okay.
And they explain like
Yeah, the risks and reward.
the potential risks, the potential rewards, how to choose investments that align with your plan,
Your plan.
your risk tolerance.
Okay.
And they really emphasize diversification.
So not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. And a long-term perspective.
Not trying to, like, time the market or whatever.
No, day trading is not what they're advocating for.
Right.
It's about steady growth over time.
Yeah, it sounds like a really comprehensive guide.
It's very thorough.
Okay. And it's interesting how they connect financial freedom
Right.
to something deeper.
Yeah.
Like personal fulfillment.
It's not just about the money.
It's not just about the numbers.
Right. It's about what the money allows you to do.
Right.
It's about living a more meaningful life.
Yeah. They actually quote Tony Robbins in the book saying
Yeah.
that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So true wealth.
Yeah.
It's not just about financial security.
It's about feeling good about your life.
Right. It's about, having the ability to contribute to something bigger than yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got some really strong endorsements for this book.
Oh, yeah.
Big names. Huge names. Okay, so Jonathan Clements from the Wall Street Journal
Yeah, I like him.
called it an eye-opening guide to money management. One that tells it like it is.
Straight shooter.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then Alan Greenspan.
Okay. Former chairman of the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, not just anybody.
Not just anybody.
He praised Robbins' mission to bring insights from the world's greatest financial minds to the average investor and called it truly inspiring.
I love that.
And then even Jack Bogle of Vanguard just said, Tony's a force of nature.
Which says it all.
Yeah. So these are heavy hitters in the financial world.
For sure.
Recognizing this book.
Yeah.
And it's not just them, right? Customer reviews
So many positive reviews.
echo this sentiment.
Yeah.
A lot of people are praising the book's advice,
Practical advice.
the comprehensive coverage of investments.
From the basics to the more advanced stuff?
Yeah. One customer specifically mentioned that Tony Robbins is always upgrading and adding more information to his books whenever he learns something new.
He's always learning.
I love that he's so committed to giving people like the latest and greatest information.
It shows he really cares.
Yeah, and another reviewer highlighted that the book gives you insights into what's really important in life
Yeah.
alongside the financial strategies.
So it's holistic.
Yeah.
It's not just about the money.
And someone else appreciated that the book is so personalized.
Right.
It helps you plan based on your own situation,
Exactly.
not some like cookie cutter approach.
No two people are the same.
And here's a detail that really stood out to me. Okay.
One of the customer reviews mentioned that 100% of the book's profits go to feeding America.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Talk about putting your money where your mouth is.
Right.
It adds a whole other layer of purpose to reading this book.
Yeah, and while the book focuses mainly on the U.S. market,
Right.
one international reader pointed out that the principles and strategies
The fundamentals.
can be adapted for people in other countries.
Absolutely.
With a little bit of local market research.
Right, you got to do your homework.
Okay, so let's talk about the authors for a second.
Okay.
Peter Melluck's firm, Creative Planning,
Yeah.
was named the #1 independent financial advisory firm in America by Barron's in 2017.
Impressive.
And he personally held that top ranking
For 3 years,
for 3 years before that.
like we said.
His firm manages almost $50 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's insane.
He knows what he's doing.
So that's a testament to his
Oh,
expertise
for sure.
and the trust that he's earned.
Yeah, people trust him with their money. And then you've got Tony Robbins,
Right.
whose influence goes way beyond just personal finance.
Oh, yeah, he's a powerhouse.
He's a best-selling author,
Mhm.
entrepreneur, philanthropist.
He does it all.
He's impacted millions of people
Around the world.
through his events, his
Yeah.
coaching, his businesses,
His energy is contagious.
and his philanthropic work through the Tony Robbins Foundation,
Yeah.
including his partnership with Feeding America,
Amazing.
shows a deep commitment to giving back.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, so he brings that same energy and strategic thinking
Absolutely.
to the world of personal finance.
It's a powerful
It
combination.
really is.
Right.
Okay, so what we have here
Yeah.
is this like fusion of deep financial knowledge
Right.
and incredible insight into human motivation and strategy.
Right. They're bridging the gap
The path really tries to bridge that gap.
between the mechanics of finance and the psychology of money.
Yes.
It's so important.
Right. So it's not just about knowing how to invest.
It's about understanding why you're investing.
Yeah. It's about mastering your own mindset.
Yeah.
So it's the practical how-to
Yeah.
combined with the why.
The why is so crucial.
Okay, so to sum it all up,
Let's bring it home.
the path offers this like really robust and multifaceted approach
that word, multifaceted.
to achieving financial freedom.
It's not just one thing.
Right. It starts with this optimistic view of the future. It emphasizes understanding your own financial psychology.
So important.
And it gives you this concrete step-by-step process
A roadmap to follow.
to navigate the complexities of investing.
Because it is complex.
It can be.
Right.
And it's all guided by these two incredibly accomplished individuals.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah.
And want to help you succeed.
Okay, so for you, the listener, the core takeaways are
Here's what you need to remember.
financial freedom is attainable.
For everyone.
Doesn't matter where you're starting from.
You can do it.
You have to understand your own financial mindset
And your biases. Those are so important.
because those can trip you up.
They can really sabotage you.
And there is a clear, adaptable roadmap
It's out there.
that you can follow
Yeah.
to build your financial future.
It's not a mystery anymore.
So as you continue your week, think about this.
Okay, I'm listening.
What's one concrete action you can take today,
Yeah.
inspired by the insights we've explored
From the bath.
from the path, to move you closer to financial independence
Yeah.
and to greater personal fulfillment?
Because it's not just about the money.
Right. And maybe even more importantly,
Okay.
take a moment to really define your why.
Yeah.
Your personal why.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you seeking financial freedom?
What's your motivation?
What truly motivates you on this journey?
It's a powerful question.
Because when you have that clarity of purpose,
Yeah.
it can be a really powerful driving force.
It can push you through those tough times.
Yeah.
And keep you focused on your goals.
All right. So that's it for our deep dive into the path.
That was a good one.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
Keep learning and keep diving deep.
Yeah.